You may know, RTGs are one of the most used equipment for container handling worldwide. They are well known as one of the best workhorse for the terminal due to the operational flexibility and reliability during operations. But at the same time, diesel RTGs may represent the 50% or maybe more of the total fuel consumption in a conventional terminal. I will repeat this one, 50% or maybe more of the total fuel consumption in a terminal. That's why many operators worldwide are now looking options to reduce operational costs and at the same time reduce the CO2 footprint of their sites. And there is where electrification comes into play. Electrification of RTGs is a well-known and proven solution, but the main challenge here is to choose which option, cable reel or Busbar, will be the best for your terminal. So stop overwhelming and stop overthinking. My name is Christopher, and today I will be sharing with you tips, lesson learned, and aspects to consider when evaluating cable reel or Busbar. Enjoy the flow. So let's start with the environmental legislations, and for the cable reel and the Busbar here, both of them will be zero local emissions. We just need to keep in mind that eventually, based on your way of working, you will be changing blocks, and during those lapse of times, you will need to consider a source of power. You got two options here. It can be a battery pack, that will be the greenest option, but some other options could be a small diesel engine. Okay, so now let's talk about the operational flexibility, as this is one of the most interesting topics because you will need to discuss this quite detailed to understand not only your way of working, but also align that with the pros and cons of the cable reel and Busbar solution. So let's go with the cable reel. So we got the block change over here, and that's something you will need to be quite clear on how the cable reel will be behaving during this type of operation. So basically, I got the diagram over here. So if you're expecting to change block on a gantry sense, you will need to consider a strategic position for the connection pits. Then if you are thinking to be changing from upper blocks, as you see over here, then you will need to have an plug and unplug system. There are automated systems these days, or it can be done manually. But compared to the Busbar, based on previous experiences, you will lose a little bit more time compared to the Busbar. And you will also need to consider the space in between blocks, because probably if you got the back-to-back layout, you will need to execute some carousel turnings over here. So let's go with the Busbar. Again, if you are planning to do block change, you will have the Busbar structure on all the back-to-back blocks you are planning to deploy this RTG. So it should be easier, and it should be even more easier if you got already an automatic plug and unplug system. So it all depends of how you're expecting to work, the amount of RTGs you're planning to deploy, the length of the RTGs, and your yard strategy. So we already discussed how important it is to consider the block change when considering the cable reel versus the Busbar. But now let's take a look onto the infrastructure required, and I consider this is the second most important item here. So if you are a brownfield terminal, this is something you will need to take a look quite deep. And let's go to the cable reel option. So regarding connections and substations, as I told you before, you will need to strategically identify which will be the best spot for the convection pits, and this will consider elements such as the length of the block, the length of the cable, how you're expecting to work when you electrify your operations, among others. Regarding the civil work required, based on lesson learned, we can say over here that it will be less investments compared to the Busbar. Let's go now into the Busbar option over here. So regarding the connection and substations, it's very important to consider how many RTGs you are expecting to connect to the rail, because based on that, then you will need to size the substations needed. So it depends of if you are planning to connect 2 RTGs or 3 RTGs at the same time on the same block. On top to that, you will need to consider the length of the block, the way of working, among others. Regarding the civil works, well, you know that if you are deploying Busbar all over your terminal, you will need to have all the conduct rail on all the blocks you're expecting to operate with the RTGs. So on both options, as you may see over here, you got pros and cons. It's important to consider that normally both of these options will be deployed on a back-to-back RTG layout, and the main purpose of this is to protect the investment of the electrification. It can be the cable reel in this case, or the Busbar infrastructure. So regarding automation, and probably that's one of the main concerns here, we got references that terminals are using cable reels and Busbar with different level of automation without any issue. You just need to consider what are the requirements regarding data connection here and make sure that the system is capable of handling those. So hope now you have a clear view of what are some of the aspects you need to consider when evaluating the cable reel or Busbar option for your terminal. Remember, understanding your way of working will have a major impact on which solution will be the best for your terminal. So let me know in the comment below what are your main challenges when evaluating these two options, and if you already deploy any of these solutions, let me know what are the pros and cons you are currently facing. So don't forget to like, share and comment if you like this content.